Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we look at something that is from another region, not the US, that I'm really excited to have in my Star Wars Home Video Library, but which I still have questions about when it comes to the background of this particular item. It's very similar to last time with that fancy schmancy Hong Kong VCD version of Phantom Menace that I didn't think existed because I had those other two versions of it. In this case, it's something that's actually from a region that I typically don't get much from. I think I maybe have two things at this point, aside from this, from Germany. I know I have that one sort of missing episode of Yoda Chronicles that didn't get released in the US, but that in Germany and that part of the world you could get as a little like Lego promotion at a toy store. And I know that I also have a German V2000 or VCC cassette for Spaceballs. But by and large, I really just haven't bought anything from Germany when it comes to my Star Wars Home Video Library. Although it's one of the more recognizable foreign titles, Krieg der Sterne, if I'm saying that correctly. I'm going to butcher this all the way through. Just be prepared for it. I just haven't picked them up, again, despite that being a very recognizable thing. Probably because when I do transactions like through eBay and such, I tend to do them through sellers who speak English or listings that are in English, and I'm a little more wary of ones that aren't. But thanks to Mark Vawkins, who is a member of the Star Wars Home Video group, who pointed me to this on eBay, I now have this in my home video library because it was something too cool to pass up, even if I don't quite understand its provenance. It is a box set of a type you would never have seen in the US because of how distribution rights worked, particularly for home video releases of the Ewok films. That is this. Oh, wait. There's nothing on this side, which in and of itself makes it a little bit odd. Let's try that again with a side, where there actually is a title. This is a Star Wars Trilogy CBS Fox Silver Screen Collection box set of Star Wars releases on VHS. The greatest science fiction saga of all time, or some such is what it says here, per Google Translate. The other side there, notice in this case it takes that Silver Screen Collection and scoots it off, keeps the Star Wars title here, the logo, but then over here has a sticker that seems to be an individual numbering from this release, which suggests it was a limited release of some kind. I have seen a video online, it's in German, can't quite tell what it's saying, that in its title suggests that maybe this is something that is an exclusive to something called Sat1. Is it my understanding in looking up is that Sat1 is like a television network, not a home video outlet, so maybe that's not accurate. I don't really know. That is a big question I have. Where did this particular set come from? On the top, same thing here. Essentially, mine was somewhat damaged when I picked it up. I've done some internal fixes with some tape on the inside to reinforce the interior, reinforce these little notches here where the cassettes had pushed up and kind of punched out some of the cardboard here. But essentially the same thing on both sides and the top, except for the fact that Silver Screen Collection is on the sides but not the top, and there's that individual number on what is basically the right side if you're looking at the cassettes. As to the cassettes, this is where things get weird and cool. You can see what's here. Make some guesses if you don't speak German. What are we seeing? We're seeing the original trilogy, right? Krieg der Sterne, we're seeing Star Wars, A New Hope, we're seeing The Empire Strikes Back, we're seeing Return of the Jedi. Then we're seeing, I think it's supposed to be D, is how you pronounce it, D Ewoks, but gotta say, a name like Die Ewoks really is appealing, because this is Caravan of Courage, certainly the worst of the two Ewok telemovies, but still light years beyond second season of the Ewok cartoon series. And then this one is a German version of the making of Star Wars, right? That we've seen plenty from other regions. These all in this oddball CBS Fox VHS collection here. We're going to take them out. We're going to take a look at them all. They do have some things that are in common. For example, every single one of these is German dubbed. They are not subtitled in German with English audio. These are actually German dubbed VHS cassettes. I was very trepidatious of putting these into my all-region VCR because they are kind of old here. They're from 1990, which, you know, I don't feel like it should be old, but I guess it kind of is old when it comes to at least VHS cassettes here. They all play great, And yeah, I was able to kind of see what is on every single one of these. They all basically pick up with kind of a little warning and information about their rating, like their PG-esque rating in the German system there of the different types. They all tend to have a CBS Fox Video Silver Screen Collection logo and a regular CBS Fox animation on them. There are different advertisements across them, as we will see, and I'll address those for each individual one. But here's A New Hope, CBS Fox Video, the rating, German title, little English title with copyright, cast crew information. Down here, it is German down here. The names obviously aren't, but the things like music is spelled M-U-S-I-K, for example. Is a nice black clamshell. It's a printed clamshell, by the way. This is not like a clear thing with a piece of paper inserted. It's on the clamshell itself. The spine there, CBS Fox Video, then the film title. Then down here in the little box, VHS, Hi-Fi Stereo, and then the 1130 product number we've seen plenty of times. CBS Fox Video, a back very similar to the original VHS release, and the front, really, very similar to the original VHS release through 20th Century Fox Video, and then eventually through CBS Fox Video as a reissue. Text about it there in German, Dolby Surround, Hi-Fi Stereo, legalese and whatnot. Copyright here says 1988. The box appears to be from 1990 based on these other items here, and the Silver Screen Collection itself. Then rating again. Again, I could be wrong about the date. I'd love it if somebody could tell me that I'm wrong, if I'm wrong. I believe it is 1990 because even the cassettes say 1990. Inside, again, is a clamshell here, CBS Fox embossed. Little clamshell space for it. The little thing there says BDGM 82U license. Unfortunately, for all but two of these, the clamshell's a little cracked because it's just that aging of plastic that causes the plastic to start to crack fairly easily. The cassette has nothing on this side. And then you've got your label here, which is just, again, the German title, copyright, 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 most recent copyright being 1990, legalese in German, CBS Fox Video, rating, and product number again there. And every single one of these, so I'm only going to show it once, comes with a little CBS Fox Silver Screen Collection pamphlet. Now, what's interesting is, if you look at these cases, they're just like regular cases. But the boxed set itself is marked as from the Silver Screen Collection. The Silver Screen Collection releases in general that you would see out there as individual releases, those actually, here's the Ewoks as an example, those have a very particular look, kind of like that first sell-through release in the UK. There's a similarity there, where it's got this CBS Fox Silver Screen Collection background and the little notation up there in the corner for science fiction or for whatever. But not inside this package. Those are for the individual releases. So we have CBS Fox Video, Silver Screen Collection. This is basically like a little catalog of the different releases there. As you go along, they are all numbered for part of that Silver Screen Collection. So for example, let's see. You've got A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi in their Silver Screen Collection silver packages, numbered as numbers 36, 51, and 52 of the collection. Making of Star Wars isn't actually on there. Ewoks is number 53. What is number 1? Where did they start the Silver Screen Collection? Oh, with that timeless classic, Crocodile Dundee. Was that big in Germany or something? I don't know. But kind of a neat way to see this. I don't have any German copies of A New Hope. And it does remind me of how fortunate we are these days to have media that have different language options on the same media. Now, what's really cool about this is what it actually is that's on here. So there's an advertisement before the film for Empire in German, for Jedi in German. They're basically the German versions of trailers that we saw in the US as well. And there's a German trailer even for the Caravan of Courage release that we see within this set. Interestingly, though, for any of these, the crawls are in German. A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away is in German. The Lucasfilm logo thing is in German. But this one is an oddball. It doesn't have the 20th Century Fox fanfare with its music at all at the beginning. Instead, it goes straight to the Lucasfilm logo, which doesn't have any music playing behind it, in German, then goes into A Galaxy Far, Far Away and so on, in German, and then boom, starts the crawl. Star Wars, except not Star Wars, it's written in German, you know, flying off into the distance. And then here comes the crawl with no episode number or subtitle.
Wait for it. Wait for it. No subtitle.
I have never seen a home video item from after they put the subtitle on it, which is basically all the full versions of the film in any region, that actually is lacking the subtitle, except when they try to sort of fake it for those 2006 DVD releases. So to see something from 1990 where there actually isn't the A New Hope subtitle at all, or the episode number on a home video release of that film, really kind of threw me. But it makes it a really cool oddball piece in the collection. You actually couldn't necessarily call this A New Hope. It is A New Hope, that's what the film was called at this point, but according to the film itself, it's just Star Wars. Crazy in 1990. Yeah, most releases around that time still called it Star Wars on the packaging, but they all had the crawl with the episode number and subtitle. But not here. Then we have The Empire Strikes Back here, tagline up here, title in German, cast, crew, CBS Fox Video, rating, CBS Fox Video, the image there, the logo, the little VHS box with the product number and stuff again, the back, CBS Fox Video, title, couple of images about it, cast, crew, Dolby Surround, Hi-Fi Stereo, copyright stuff down here. In this case, the copyright date, the most recent copyright date on there is just the 1984, but the cassettes for all of these have a 1990 copyright date on them. We'll come back to that cover in a second because there's something I think is funny. This is sort of a cream color clamshell. Again, still kind of cracked up at the top, a cream color. A CBS Fox Video still. We have the little pamphlet again, and the cassette there. Again, just The Empire Strikes Back, German title, all the copyrights, rating, product number, CBS Fox Video. Again, 1990 being the copyright date on this one. To look at this, by the way, well, I don't speak German. I speak no German whatsoever. I can only sort of sound out what I think it might be saying, and usually I am wrong. I do find it funny recently with all the comments of, you know, Star Wars is going woke, look at all these female characters, these non-white characters, and so on. And then Lucas coming back recently with the whole thinking it's silly because, well, most of the characters are alien. There's kind of a true middle ground because certainly in the original trilogy, it was a big deal when Billy D. Williams joined the cast as Lando because he was the black guy on the main character cast. Same thing with Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu later on. So I find it funny that in the one where Lando gets added and it's less of a white cast, I don't speak German. I know it says, thanks to Google Translate, basically the Star Wars saga continues. But I gotta love the fact that it sure looks like if you try to sound it out, it's basically saying, Star Wars gets whiter. Maybe I find that too funny. I found it hilarious when I first saw it. This one still has those warnings and everything, as I mentioned. It is immediately followed by the Silver Screen Collection logo. It has a preview only of Caravan of Courage on this. That is the only one it has a trailer for. Nothing for the rest of the trilogy. And then it just kind of dives into the whole thing. I did initially think when looking at this, it says Episode 5. The word episode is in English. No, it's not. It's the same in German as it is in English. Nathan, don't be a moron. Then we have Return of the Jedi. Rating. Tagline in German, CBS Fox Video. Title there, in German. The side, again, CBS Fox, then the logo, then VHS. And I keep holding these upside down. To me, this is the right way to hold it with, you know, the front on top. But it is like this, I guess, for all of these. Here's the other ones right side up. Just feels weird. And they look weird when they're in that case because it feels like they're pointed the wrong direction in terms of the orientation of the text. But anyway, there's Jedi the right way here in the setup. Similar setup. The back, title, images, tagline, text about it, cast, crew, legalese and all that there with the rating and all, again, in German. It's another of these sort of tan or cream color cases. This one only slightly damaged on the inside. Another insert, and the same design here again for the cassette label. Yes, that one is also from 1990. This one, for what it's worth, does have German trailers for A New Hope and Empire, sort of completing out the trilogy here. Then we have the one that could not be included within any of these types of collections in the US because of the distributor. You may recall, as I always say, that in the US, if you wanted to buy either of the Ewok telemovies, those came through MGM UA Home Video. In other markets, though, like the UK or like Japan, it was split. Yeah, MGM UA Home Video handled Battle for Endor, but Caravan of Courage, that one was carried through CBS Fox Video, who was also putting out the Star Wars live-action films at the time. The same appears to be the case for Germany, because here's a CBS Fox Video release that could be included, because it's the same company, of Ewoks, or Caravan of Courage, and Ewok Adventure, or the Ewok Adventure, whatever you want to call it. I like that they call it Die Ewoks. Again, it should be D. But I just like saying Die Ewoks. So you got the logo here for Caravan of Courage. It says Caravan of Courage in English underneath. You have the cast listing here. You have the rating, CBS Fox Video, basically from the universe and so on of, Star Wars, Krieg der Sterne up there. Again, oops, flipping it around. CBS Fox Video logo again, VHS down here. No hi-fi stereo this time, just VHS and the little product number. And then on the back, CBS Fox Video logo, a couple of images about it, cast crew, which isn't much, legalese and all, and the rating. Silver Screen Collection pamphlet again. This one actually not shattered on the inside, which is nice. Another cream color one. The only black one is A New Hope there. And then there's your label. Again, same thing as far as the setup goes there. And once again, 1990, which tells me that presumably this set is from 1990. Now for this, there is a trailer on here, but it's only a German trailer for Empire, not for any of these other releases here. It does have the 20th Century Fox fanfare at the beginning of it, and the title is in German, but all the, starring so-and-so, unless every single one of those words is exactly the same in English as it is in German, it's in English in that case. But the actual, dialogue and everything, it is fully German dubbed. Then finally, the one that I was wondering if it actually would be dubbed in German like the other ones, or perhaps something different because it's kind of an oddball, that turned out to still be dubbed like the other ones, it is The Story of Star Wars. So The Story of Star Wars says, the effects, the tricks. So a different cover than what we've seen with this typically before, but we've got that sort of classic poster-esque image there, couple of shots. Oopsie again. Kind of like Empire with the picture, then the titles. So we have CBS Fox Video picture title, and then the VHS and product number. This one has hi-fi, but it doesn't say hi-fi stereo, but hi-fi. Then on the back, CBS Fox Video, title, couple images about it, cast, crew, legalese, 20th Century Fox, and rating. And then, surprise, surprise, surprise! No one under the age of 40 maybe even gets that joke. But surprise, surprise, surprise! There we are with the cream color insert, the little pamphlet, and sure enough, a 1990 version of the label. Of all of them, this one has no trailers at all. But it's just kind of fun to see these in another language. I don't really take the time on the Blu-rays and so forth to change the language and watch it. But watching even the trailers that we're repeating over and over again with these as I was watching the different ones, or going forward and seeing clips of it to see the German dubbing, it's kind of fun because Han Solo has that big whooping Yahoo as he comes in to save the day at the end of A New Hope, and in German it's more like Yahoo! It does not sound nearly as powerful as it does in English, but it's also interesting to see when Obi-Wan dies in A New Hope, spoiler alert of course for 1977, and Luke does a no, and you have that music swell to hear him go 9. It's just a different fun thing to see Star Wars presented in another language, and a reminder not only of how lucky we are to have modern media where you can see the same films in multiple languages, have multiple different versions of subtitles and everything to be able to watch in whatever language you choose. Fortunate in the sense that for the market that I'm in, the American market, we were the originator of Star Wars, which means that it's in our language to start with. We don't have to worry about subtitles or dubbing unless you want some subtitles because, like me, your hearing, your eyesight is a little better than your hearing. I don't know why I immediately went for glasses for my ears, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, fun little release here, but one that at least came to me a little bit damaged. This is kind of the repair job, as I mentioned, that I did. I just took some packing tape and kind of went around some of these edges to reinforce them. It's not like I'm holding onto this because it's pristine. I'm holding onto it because it's cool. It would never be pristine. So why not reinforce the insides to make it a little bit less likely to be further damaged? But there you have it, folks. A really cool, unusual box set that was able to include Ewoks that you could never have seen literally on the US market thanks to how distribution rights work, coming out of Germany, apparently in 1990. I would love to know if anybody has any more information about this. Was it exclusive to somewhere? If so, where was it? It appears to be a numbered release. How many were made? Is this really individual numbering? And how does the release of this compare to the release in the Silver Screen Collection releases that had the actual Silver Screen silver packaging on the VHS cassettes, given that these don't, but they have the branding on the videos themselves when you're actually playing them, and they have the branding on the package. I'd love to know more about this one than I already do, just by examining it myself. But I'm very glad to have it in my Star Wars Home Video library. I like to have foreign releases, especially when they are unusual and very different than something we saw in the US, and certainly this fits that bill. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers, whether in the US, Germany, or anywhere else.